In this video, we are going to create an expert advisor that utilizes the Triple Exponential Moving Average, or TEMA, to make trading decisions. Let's see how we can do that. We start by launching Metaeditor, which can be done by clicking a little icon or by pressing F4 on your keyboard. Once we are in Metaeditor, we will write the code for our expert advisor. The first line of our code includes the CTrade class from the standard library. This class provides simplified trading methods, such as PositionOpen and PositionModify, which we will use to manage our trades. By including this library, we gain access to these essential trading functions. Next, we instantiate a CTrade object named Trade. This object will manage all trading operations, including opening and modifying positions. Following that, we define our strategy configuration parameters. These parameters can be adjusted in the Expert Advisor properties. The LookbackBars parameter is set to 50, which means we will analyze the historical range for highs and lows over the last 50 candles. The MinCandlesBack parameter is set to 5, indicating the minimum age for valid highs and lows, which can range from 5 to 50 candles. The TrailingOffset parameter is set to 10.0, representing the safety distance for the trailing stop-in points, which can vary from 1 to 20. The TEMAPeriod is set to 14, which is the period for the TEMA calculation. The TEMAShift is set to 0, indicating no horizontal shift for the TEMA. Lastly, we specify the price type for TEMA calculation using the TEMAPrice parameter, which is set to price close. Next, we declare global variables and handles that will store the state between ticks and indicator data. The TEMA handle variable will hold the TEMA indicator handle, while TEMA buffer is an array that will store the TEMA values. The price data array will hold the open, high, low, and close price data. We also declare two Boolean variables, prev-bullish signal and prev-bearish signal, to track the previous state of bullish and bearish signals. The onInit function is the expert initialization function that is executed once when the expert advisor starts. In this function, we create the TEMA indicator handle using the built-in iTEMA function. This function takes parameters such as the symbol, time frame, period, shift, and price type. We also configure the arrays as time series, ensuring that the newest data is at index 0. This alignment allows us to work with the data in a natural time flow. Finally, we return the success code in it succeeded to indicate that the initialization was successful. Next, we define functions for opening positions. The open by position function is responsible for executing a buy order. It retrieves the current ask price using the symbol info double function and then calls the PositionOpen method from the CTrade class. This method takes parameters such as the symbol, order type, volume, price, stop loss, take profit, and a comment. In this case, we are opening a buy position with a volume of 0.10 lots, which translates to 10 micro lots. The entry price is set to the current ask price, and both the stop loss and take profit are disabled by setting them to 0. The comment for the position is set to TEMA position. Similarly, the open sell position function is defined to execute a sell order. It retrieves the current bid price and calls the PositionOpen method with the appropriate parameters for a sell position. Again, we specify a volume of 0.10 lots, and the entry price is set to the current bid price, with stop loss and take profit disabled. The onTick function is the main function that executes on each tick and contains the core logic of our trading strategy. In this function, we first retrieve historical price data for analysis by copying H1 candle data for the specified lookback period using the copyRates function. This function takes parameters such as the symbol, time frame, starting position, count, and the target array where the data will be stored. Next, we load the TEMA values from the indicator buffer using the copyBuffer function, which copies the calculated TEMA values into the TEMA buffer array for analysis. We then check the status of open positions to determine if any exist and their type. We initialize a Boolean variable has open position to false and set the current position type to position type by as a default value. We iterate through all open positions in reverse order to safely identify relevant ones. For each position, we get the unique ticket number and check if the position belongs to the current symbol. If it does, we mark that an open position was found and store the type of the current position. We exit the loop after finding the first matching position. Next, we check for TEMA crossing price signals. A bullish signal occurs when the previous close price is below the TEMA value and the current close price is above the TEMA value. Conversely, a bearish signal occurs when the previous close price is above the TEMA value and the current close price is below the TEMA value. If a bullish signal is detected and there was no previous bullish signal, we check if there are any open positions. If there are none, we call the open by position function to open a new buy position. If there is an open by position, we identify the lowest low in the lookback period using the iLowest function. We also check if the low index is at least MinCandlesBack old and if the current price is above the identified low. If these conditions are met, we calculate the new trailing stop level by adding the trailing offset to the last low price and call the process trailing stop function to manage the trailing stop. In the case of a bearish signal, we follow a similar process. If there are no open positions, we call the open sell position function to open a new sell position. If there is an open sell position, we identify the highest high in the lookback period using the iHighest function. We check if the high index is at least MinCandlesBack old and if the current price is below the identified high. If these conditions are satisfied, we calculate the new trailing stop level by subtracting the trailing offset from the last high price and call the process trailing stop function. At the end of the onTick function, we update the previous signal states for the next tick by assigning the current bullish and bearish signals to the respective previous signal variables. The process trailing stop function is responsible for managing the trailing stop for both buy and sell positions. It loops through all open positions in reverse order and selects each position by its ticket number. We filter the positions to ensure they match the specified position type and belong to the current chart symbol. We retrieve the current stop loss value for the position and update the stop loss based on the position type. For a buy position, we check if the new stop level is higher than the current stop or if there is no existing stop loss. If either condition is met, we modify the position using the trade PositionModify method. For a sell position, we check if the new stop level is lower than the current stop or if there is no existing stop loss, and we modify the position accordingly. Finally, we press F7 to compile the code. This step is crucial as it ensures that our code is free of errors and ready for execution. If this was too fast for you or if you don't understand what all the code is doing, you may want to check out the premium course on our website or watch one of the basic videos first. If everything works correctly, we go back to Metaeditor by pressing F4 or clicking on the icon. Back in Metaeditor, we press Ctrl and R to start the strategy tester. We select the expert advisor that we have just created, enable the visual mode, and start a strategy test. We should see the expert advisor on the chart. If you are already a premium course member and have an idea for a video like this one, feel free to send us an email. In summary, we have learned how to code an expert advisor that utilizes the TEMA indicator to make trading decisions. We have implemented several functions to manage trades and trailing stops using a few lines of MQL code. We have coded an expert advisor that makes trading decisions based on TEMA signals. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.